Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let them stop. I'm going to try to get them pick their head up, and then we'll 1, 2, 3. We'll shoot the 2 together. You ready? You on them, man? 1, 2.
The Texas Rio experience, or at least from a Mississippi boy's perspective.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different terrains in Texas. We were up in the kind of the northern part of
Panhandle, I guess you call it. Not too far
West
from Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Yeah,
So
where we went, it wasn't like we went in totally blind. Me and Mikey got the opportunity to go over there the first time
we
back
got
in
out
February.
there in February.
That's been, 2.5 months ago?
Yeah, just to do some scouting and learn the trails, try to learn as much of the property as we, possibly could before we got out there, because just going out there blind, man, that's a vast piece of property to try to just wing it, and you only got a few days to hunt.
So we really only had one afternoon when we got there, and then 2 full days.
And then one morning.
One morning, that was just a few hours.
Yeah.
Like, there was not a lot of time for hunting on this trip. And not to go in blind, we wouldn't have known what to do. So what did you know about the Rio species of turkey going in compared to like our Easterns we hunt here in Mississippi?
So, what I'd seen before we went out there, multiple gobblers running in. Aggressive. And I talked to some friends of mine or friends of ours that had went out there and experienced it before. They were telling me, they're just stupid. They don't know nothing and they're not hard to hunt. I was like, wow, this is going to be a cakewalk if we just find them. Not the case.
Well, the first day we get there, it's in the afternoon. We get our stuff on. The goal wasn't to necessarily kill a bird that afternoon.
We were going to verify they were still in the same areas that we had located them in 2 months earlier. When we start down the hill, I think I out-hooted once, and man, the bottom lit up, son. I'm talking about lit up. I don't know how many gobblers are in that bottom.
That might be the first successful, getting them to gobble on the roost like that I've actually had. Because we just don't see it on our property.
Nah,
turkeys are tight-lipped in the afternoons and evening.
And when that bottom lit up, I was like, we got them. We got them in the morning. This is going to happen.
So we got up. We set the alarms for 4:30. We were out. We were up, packed, and loaded by 5:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And in the pitch black, headed out to the roost where we thought they were roosted.
I had found a few roost trees down this dry creek, and that when we roosted them at night, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're right there in those trees. So we get to this ditch, and Zane's like, where are you wanting to go? I was like, dude, if we can get across this ditch, there's a couple of big trees over there. I said, it's kind of flat and wide open, so we're going to be able to film real well. It's not going to be a lot of obstruction in front of us. And as we got to that tree, he grabs me. He's like, stop. He said, those big trees right there you can see in the moon. He said, look up at them. I looked, and they were full of freaking turkeys, man. I was like, thank God we didn't go sit down under them trees I'd picked for.
I had never seen anything like it. And it was probably, we were within 100 yards of them.
So we sat there, get everything set up. We're set up. Wood start coming alive. Turkey start gobbling. I don't know how many were in that creek with us.
It sounded like 60.
I don't know how many. There was a bunch. More than I'd ever seen in one setting like that, roosted together. They start pitching down. We start seeing them hit, and it's fixing to happen. And you can just see multiple fans sticking up out of that grass, and they are going nuts. And then we start seeing them working our way. And they don't all work our way at one time. It's like a few, couple of birds start up that way, the rest of them start following, and they kind of start filtering up towards that way. They get to about 60 yards, something like that, across this ditch from us, and there's an opening there. And, I'm filming, and I'm getting aggravated with Malcom because I can see these gobblers over there across the ditch, and I'm like, oh, shoot one of them gobblers. Thank God Zane was there to kind of voice a reason there. He tells Malcom, do not shoot.
Yeah.
You shoot from here, you will kill every turkey standing on that flat.
Right. I had clicked the safety off, and I was like, I think I can kill that bird right there. And they were dropping down in this ditch. And so when they dropped in, we lost sight of them.
One or two would go down in there. Then they disappear, and you're like, all right, they're fixing to pop up right here. Get ready. So you start pointing, you start changing body position to get set on these birds. Whether we think, they went in the ditch right here, they should come right up out of the ditch right there. Oh no, these birds start coming out 40 yards down the ditch, dead in front of you where you was pointed originally. So they walked down the ditch, and they just walked that dry ditch until they got almost right
to where Zane was calling.
Yeah.
They were coming to where the sound the hen was coming from. So one of the birds that was gobbling at us, one of the first ones across the ditch, he dropped down in there after he was strutting, he come up and he went way around you and got in behind you and started gobbling. There was one tree that was sitting in front of me because I can't get a shot. When that bird stepped behind that tree, I spun and got where I needed to be. And then 3 more jakes popped out of that ditch, and Zane couldn't tell because the grass was so tall there. All we saw was heads, and you did not know which one was the strutter. And that was my problem. I couldn't identify, so I wasn't just going to shoot recklessly.
Some of them went back south of us, and these ones that came up towards us start crossing this ditch, long beard after line. I can see them, y'all can't see them. And I was like, damn it, this is not the way this hunt is fixing to happen. We have had
perfect hunt.
We have had 8 long beards within 20 yards of us, and we ain't fired a shot. And man, I was mad at the world, son.
We never boogered them up. Never.
No,
not
we
once. They didn't know we were there.
They didn't know we were there. We didn't spook any of them.
I don't know how.
I don't know.
Many eyeballs is that?
I do not either. So we let them go on off. And we can still see birds down the bottom in front of us where they started out. They're going away from us. So we're sitting there and we never fire a shot, and these birds, we let them go. I mean,
let them go.
They got in there on us, and we missed our opportunity, and we let them go. We made the right call. At the time, it didn't seem like it was, and it was really frustrating because of so many of them around you. So we knew then, like, we don't really need to sit up there again.
Yeah, that's not a good choice to sit
That was
there.
not the play, which wasn't
what
we wanted
to. Be
to.
that close to them.
Yeah, we don't need to sit up in the brush again like that where we can't tell what they are.
But we learned some valuable information that morning.
We did.
We found out, one, the 5 or 6 trees where they were roosting. And then we found out it's a big group. They're going to split up. So they're either going south down the canyon or they're coming back north to get around that face wall to get back up to where they want to go.
Yeah.
When we gave them birds time to get out of there, we backed out completely and didn't mess with that spot the rest of the day.
We did. We left that one and never came back. They didn't say nothing the rest of the freaking day, and it was so frustrating because we went from the highest high to the lowest low.
From 5:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m., we didn't go back to camp. We had a sandwich that we ate for lunch. We had bottles of water, and we stayed on the trails trying to locate birds. That's probably the hardest day turkey hunting I've ever had.
Yeah.
Just because we were covering so much ground, and we didn't hear a peep out of a bird. It's like we saw them that morning, and then after 9 o'clock, it shut off.
So we learned, we adapted, figured it out. Mississippi boys hunting turkeys in Texas, so you have to adapt. You have to learn to adapt. And we changed our setups. We changed the way we were working them, and we went back in the next morning with a game plan, or we thought we did. We go back to the same setup we hunted the morning before. Not the same setup, same area.
Yeah.
Backed up, kind of the way those birds came around that end and dodged us. We get everybody set down, set up. Everybody gets comfortable. Get real comfortable. We're going to be here a minute. We're not moving. Sun comes up. Birds start gobbling. Bang, 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 bang. Bottom lights up again. We see them fly down. Exactly the same way they did the morning before. Exact same scenario. All the fighting and purring and just chaos.
Jockey.
Man, they're going nuts. Well, this one single hen, for some reason, starts running to us, just comes across the ditch away from all the other birds. Don't know why, she just did. I mean, I guess she was coming to the call. She gets up there and she stops and about faces and heads back before the other birds are crossing the ditch. And she don't like what she's seeing. I told Zane, I was like, call soft. Call soft. She's nervous. We didn't make no noise. We stopped calling because she came, and it was a mistake on our part, not making her feel comfortable. She gets up there, sees decoys, and they ain't saying nothing. She's like, nope. And she starts off. Well, she gets almost back down there to where she is, and Zane just yelps real soft under his breath, and she stops. And she stands there for a second, and she calls back to him. And then she starts getting vocal, and she starts revving everybody else up, and here they come. Whoop, 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 down in the ditch, and they coming out. We had a longbeard come out by himself. He went past her. He come all the way up to that strutting decoy. I'm talking about on a string, son. He come up there, let down, run to that strutting decoy, and spun him around.
Yeah.
And challenged him right there in front of us. And I'm going, shoot that one, shoot that one, shoot that one.
I don't know if you noticed it, but there was another group of 3 longbeards coming
I seen
behind that one.
We look up, and Zane, I heard him say, all right, I'm going left, you're going right, Malcolm.
On 3.
You ready, Mikey?
Yeah, close enough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let them stop. I'm going to try to pick their head up, and then we'll 1, 2, 3. We'll shoot the 2 together. You ready? You on them, Mike? 1, 2.
Man, and turkeys go everywhere. I'm talking about they were
All of them fly.
Evidently, some more had come across that ditch that I didn't see, and they're just turkeys are running and hollering, and feathers are flying, and one's flopping, and I don't see two flopping. I'm like, whoa, crap. Zane starts hollering at me, shoot that bird before he gets away too far out. And I just instinctively, I mean, my gun's laying over here on the ground. I've got the camera, so I get up, I grab the gun, and by the time this is a brand new gun that I bought right before we come to Texas, 20 gauge, and I'm like, that bird's kind of far, you know, so I'll lay it down. I mean, I'll beat him down and pull the trigger, boom, and I see him roll.
Dirt roll.
I was like, no way, I just killed that bird that far.
We got them, boys, we got them. 2 birds down. Let's go get them. Bird number 2. Not bad for a morning in Texas.
Man, it's a beautiful bird right there. Texas Rio, my first one. We waited on that jerker too. He come out with a lot of birds. I don't know how many birds we saw. There's probably a dozen jakes come running up in here. We knew there were some gobblers. We'd seen them yesterday. We roosted these birds. We waited on them, and these 3 big longbeards were the very last ones to come in. We let them close the distance. Put the hammer on them. That's hunting in Texas.